Michelle, what's the tea?
The tea is life.
Life is to be lived.
Yes.
It is a struggle, though, because, there are so many influences out there in the world that sort of try to drag you down.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Now,
you just came back from Europe, and wait, was that – how many times – when was your first time in Europe?
My first trip to Europe, I was 13 years old. Marty and Arlene, my mom and dad, brought my brother and I there. I was a huge Shakespeare fan, in love with William. And
was he a good kisser?
Oh, honey, that Elizabethan tongue. You don't want none of that.
I'm so jealous.
Me and One-Eyed Willie. They brought me to Stratford upon Avon, and I was so in love.
Is that where the Bard is?
That's where, I don't know where the Bard is, but that's where he was from. That's where his wife, her house is still there, Anne Hathaway. And it was pretty amazing to be kind of on the same ground that he walked down, and they showed you the places where the plays went up and all that stuff. And then, of course, to London for the first time in my life. And I was also really into the Sex Pistols at that time. The punk rock era had just really ushered its way into my world, and I was obsessed. I didn't go anywhere without a padlock around my neck. Like, Sid Vicious to me was like, oh my God. Because to me, like Belinda Carlisle, like Madonna, these people marched to the beat of their own drummers. Like he was up, as gross as it is, on stage, like slashing his body with razor.
Oh dear!
It was like, nothing I recommend.
Yeah,
but it was iconic in a way that he did whatever the fuck he wanted, which is why he died at like 20 something. But with that said, it was like he was such a rebel. All the Pistols were. Johnny Rotten. I mean, they were all rebels. And it spoke to me in some way.
Who died at 21?
No, he died at 20-something. Johnny Rotten. I mean, Sid Vicious with Nancy Spungen.
Oh, right. Yeah.
20-something.
It's funny, those kind of things appeal to me just because people who were outside the box, people who were anti-establishment, it just sort of rang true for me because in my own emotional state, I never wanted to just join the Matrix, I just didn't want to do that. I didn't want to turn into my parents, and I didn't want to turn into just the status quo because I didn't feel that way on the inside.
But I think that's what about London appealed to me so much, and I feel like, in a former life, I'm definitely British, because that's the way it was. That's the way the punk rock scene was. We were just posers in the United States. They did it, and they did it big, and they did it right. And there was something about going to the motherland when I was 13 years old to really see like King's Road and to Carnaby Street and to see what it was like, Camden Town, and being there was like, it spoke to me. You can't explain connections. They just happen. And that's like what it was. So I was really lucky to be able to bring my kids this time.
Oh.
To see what they would kind of go through and feel because, they're 13 and 15 and my brother and I were 13 and 10. I was 13 and my brother was 10. And it affected me in a really, really big way.
Do you think it affected your kids?
I think that my kids are way more privileged than my brother and I were growing up. So I hope it affected them in the same way that we were affected by it. Lily didn't fall in love with London, my older one. She fell more in love with Paris and more in love with Spain. And like she came to life in Spain, life, because she speaks Spanish and she's like in an honors Spanish 4 or whatever she is. And I think she felt the need of, or the kind of being needed. Yeah. Our family needed her.
Oh, right. Because nobody else spoke the language.
I speak New Yorkican. And when I speak it, Lily's skin crawls.
Because it's very different from real Spanish.
Slang. She's like, you can't say that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I just did. And guess what? She understood me.
Right.
You know, but she like came to life. And I could tell right away, I'm like, I'm losing my kid to Europe. I'm going to lose her to Europe.
Now, when was the next time you went to Europe as an adult?
So Seduction, our record company was A&M, and they were not going to pay for us to go over there. They were too cheap. So everything we did with that was on the phone. The next time I went to London was when I was in Soul System, and we did Top of the Pops over there.
Really? So that song was a huge hit over there.
Huge hit. So that was in 92.
Yeah.
So that was the last time I had gone over. And
what label was that on?
That was on Arista.
Oh, right.
Clive Davis. And then, of course, I didn't go back over until I was booked through RuPaul's Drag Race, doing the club gigs. And then when that happened, my presence started to take off, and then Celebrity Big Brother happened. And then I really feel like I've got a bigger almost presence in the UK than I do here.
What hotel do you stay at there?
My hotel of choice is called the Amba Hotel.
Amba?
Actually, I told everybody, Amba. Not to be confused with my college, which was AMDA. Amba is in central London in Charing Cross, and it's like amazing, right by Soho.
Do you recommend it?
Right by Trafalgar Square.
That?
I recommend that hotel. Yeah, it's amazing.
Because I was over in help me. Is it Leicester Square?
Leicester Square.
Is that near the West End where the theaters are?
Yes, where you were.
At the Ham Yard.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful hotel.
I
would recommend that hotel as well. It's got that beautiful library area with that beautiful fireplace.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can go there too at the Ham Yard. That's gorgeous as well.
I love that. And that's centrally located because
that's all central London.
Yeah, because that's where it's just great shopping over there, and that's where Boys Town and what's that called?
Soho.
West Soho. Yeah. That's
Old
over there.
Compton Street. That's all Soho. And I also love North London in Hampstead Heath, Hampstead Gardens. That's kind
What's up there?
Well, George Michael got busted up there.
Well, he's gotten busted in many
that's
different
the bathroom
places.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Patsy Kensit lives up there. It's kind of posh and beautiful, but it's not that far out of town.
Where does Katie Price live?
Katie Price lives in the country.
Oh.
She's out in Sussex.
But she has a place.
Her place that I stayed in of hers is in South London. That's in Vauxhall, by the Vauxhall Tavern, where Princess Di allegedly used to go undercover. And
right.
Right. So that was there. So that's in South London. London's massive. I mean, it's so huge. Central London's my choice because it's in the middle of everything, and I can just walk to Soho and walk to places. But ironically enough, my daughters didn't fall in love with it the way I fell in love with it. But I still was in love with it. Go ahead.
Well, but you did spark the interest. You found out that Lily loves Spain, and the little one.
She just loved being anywhere. She just loved not being in school.
Yeah.
She loved trying new things, places. She's a super happy-go-lucky kid, where Lily is kind of a darker child.
Yeah. She's more moody.
Moody. She, her name is Emo Child for a reason. Yeah. She's growing out of it and learning to kind of spread her wings, but she's in a very kind of introverted.
No, I understand completely. Yeah. I remember being that age, and I felt the same way. And I look back at that. I've never forgotten it. I've never forgotten that feeling. And I remember making a pact with myself to never join the Matrix, to always be myself, and to never try to fit in. I did try fitting in earlier until I realized it's nowheresville. It's not what I wanted.
And so this is what I'm going through right now is she feels the same way. She has this box, the box. Mm-hmm. Think out of the box.
Yeah.
But she says you can't think out of the box because you have to be in the box in order to get somewhere in life. So she's having a hard time understanding why she has to go to school and go to college when I'm telling her to live in the moment because all that matters is the moment. And then she's like, well, then why are you making me plan for my future and go to college when Steve Jobs didn't go to college? Or she's giving me these reasons, and I get it.
Yeah. For the kids who want to use that argument, there's only one Steve Jobs, and there are very few. Actually, people always kids want to pull that one out.
Yeah.
The truth is, you have to put yourself in a situation, whether it be college or some trade or something like that, to where you can meet your constituency, so you can be inspired. Now, the goal, the brass ring isn't what the goal is about. It's about being in that situation so you can meet your friends. And these are friends and constituents that you're going to work with for the rest of your life. These are your people. So you have to get in the pool. You have to get in the water. It's not about how many laps you swim. It's about being in it. And that's something you can't explain to young people.
No, and even so, even as a parent, when I say she knows that I lived that life. She knows that I was 15 once and I was in a dark place too. But you don't care when your mother says that shit to you. You're like, I ain't trying to, this is my situation. Right. And her thing is, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are like, why am I going for all of this when everybody I love is just going to die anyway?
Right.
What's the point? So it's very easy to be angsty and teenagey and dark.
Well, she's in that in-between place because what happens is, as a kid, you buy the whole story, lock, stock, and barrel of you get this, and we live happily ever after. But in that in-between period, which is about 14,
when you
15,
don't believe that.
When you don't believe that and you start seeing the cracks in the wall in the story.
And the zipper in behind the Easter Bunny's costume.
Exactly. Then you start questioning it. As a parent, though, you just have to have faith that they will come through on the other side. They will understand it.
But a lot of the times, and I don't want to just say she because everybody has gone through this.
Everybody.
Anybody creative has gone through a very dark period that I know of.
Sure.
I know she'll pull out of it.
Yeah.
She doesn't know that she'll pull out of it. Right now it's just dark, dark, dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, I see like Jinx is the perfect example who says, nobody knows what's going on in my life. And they'll see Lily and they go, where she is right now? I don't even know what's going on. Where she is right now? I was there.
Yeah.
That was me. And I was alone. And she feels alone, because nobody gets what Lily is and who she is. Lily doesn't even know who Lily is,
Right.
But it's interesting because I see her literally come to life in Spain, and I knew right away that I was going to lose my child to Barcelona when it's time,
Yeah.
She's already saying, can I go as a senior in high school? And I'm like, you can go, but let's wait till college. Like, give mommy a chance to kind of process the fact that you're going to be in a different country,
Well, listen, I got to tell you, I went away from my mother's house when I was 15.
Yeah, I don't know how I could have. You're the same age as Lily when you left.
Yeah.
I honestly. But your mother was checked out, Rue. It was
not at that point.
She had come back around.
Yeah, because in 67 she checked
when
out
you were younger.
after the divorce, right? And then by 1970,
she'd come back around.
She had come back around. She had gotten a job at Planned Parenthood, and she worked there for many, many years. And she was in full bloom. She found her own self. But by by the time I was 14 in most of 1975, that's when all that stuff was happening, the darkness,
But can I just say, you were leaving to live with your sister. I would have comfort to know if she was leaving to go live with my aunt in Barcelona. There'd be a little bit more comfort zone than me just going fly, be free, and go to a host family in another country where they don't speak English.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
And I want her to fly free, but I feel like she still has growing up to do because she's in that dark
But
place.
I got to tell you, it was because my mother allowed me to go and be myself that I found my tribe, that I found the other kids who felt the way I did. And we supported each other.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful. It was the greatest gift my mother ever gave me.
Yeah.
Was to let me go like that.
She's going to go, and I don't have a problem with it. She asked about this summer, a trip that's kind of pricey, and we have an agreement. And there has to be an agreement for I don't want to let her drop out of school. I know you dropped out of school, but she has such a bright future that does revolve around at least getting some sort of education. And the kids out there that are listening, I know how hard school is. I'm going through it right now with her, but it's super important because of the society that we live in. You can think out of the box. You can be creative and different. There are just basics I'm asking you to do.
Absolutely. I agree. And look, both of our careers are completely out of the box.
Yes.
No one, at Career Day, there wasn't drag queen.
I wish there was.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I produce and write and direct and do everything in that you can do in show business or just creatively. I run a business.
Yeah.
And most of those things I learned from doing it, you know, and school, the basis for me, first of all, when I went to the Performing Arts School in Atlanta, I did learn how to behave as a professional entertainer, which is don't arrive late, be prepared, and don't complain.
Right.
And that basic tenet of showmanship and being a worker among men.
Yeah.
I learned in school.
Yeah.
And
I think school reform needs to happen too. I don't think that kids like Lily and super creative kids deserve to be lumped into the way that these are old teaching styles, old teaching standards. And I love teachers, and I'm sure they want to be creative, but they can't because they're told they have to do this. Teachers can change lives, like your drama teacher did.
Yeah.
Her second grade teacher did. And I know that if given the go ahead, there's different ways that these kids are being stifled learning the way that they're learning.
Yeah, but see, as a parent, you've got to be the one to be able to customize it for her.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't learn in the situation that schools are. It's not my thing.
No, it's not her thing either.
Yeah.
So what do? You try to find ways to get around it and supplement it. She's so bright that it's like she's in these honors classes and doesn't even want to do them. Because for me, she's like, why am I in ultra honors physio when I'm never going to use this?
Well, I have the answer for her. Because you never know where that next big idea is coming from.
Yeah.
You got to be out in the middle of the stream to be found.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And that's the thing that her mind, in my mind, couldn't tell me then when I was going through that.
You're a kid.
Yeah. But there's more to come. There's more than just what our eyes can see or what the limitations of my own perception of myself, of the world are very limited. But it's bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's beyond my wildest dreams.
Yeah.
And it still is today.
Yeah, it's true. And the kids out there that are hearing this know that they're not only, you've heard the Trevor Project, you've heard so much it does get better. And let's just say we know that it does get better. But knowing it and believing it are two different things.
Especially when you're in the middle of it. You know what? I've never forgotten that feeling.
It lasts for years. It
I've
doesn't
never
go
forgotten
away
it.
in a week. So just be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself. And that's what I try to say. And I'm in the thick of it right now with my kid, but I'm also there with you guys that are listening because there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and some days are good and some days are not so good. You know, so when I have those good moments, I'm so excited. And I'm like, there she is. I see her. There's glimpses of her. But it's difficult. But there are ways. I don't really have the answer to it that I can say, just do this and it's going to go away.
Right. No, she wouldn't be looking at it from you because you represent, the establishment.
Yeah.
Because you've taught her the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s. She's looking for the rest of it.
And the funny thing is, if you look at my career, what you want to call a career, I went to school and I did go to college to satisfy that in society. But I don't use it. And I think that's also her thing of like, you went to school and you've never used, you went through all that and paid all that money.
You did use it. I think you used it in ways that you can't even imagine.
And that's quite possible.
Yeah.
It's a big concept though.
It's a big concept.
To lay on a kid.
I think, it is. It is. So I don't know. I'm excited for your children. I'm excited it's a great time to be alive.
I agree.
It is so great. The world is at our fingertips. And they really need curators. And I think that's the word of this decade is curation, because with the internet, with all of these devices,
terrible.
You just need a mentor or a curator to say, oh, go there, go here, go there. If the person is open,
But
if the
isn't
kid
that
is
what
open.
I'm supposed to do as a
No.
parent?
Your job is done, Michelle. You have to give the reins over to someone else. Just, and know that your child is taken care of. It is a benevolent. Yes, universe. If you think of it that way, you know that everything is taken care of. You've done your work. You've done your job. And in fact, that 13-year-old punk rock girl who went to England, she is also in there, and she's also raised your child too. And that's a part of it. It's a rite of passage.
Yeah. No, completely.
Yeah.
I know that. The kids listening might not know that, but the older kids listening know that as well. Because every single person that listens, I would venture to say every single person that listens to this podcast in particular has gone through those dark ages.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because we're all the same tribe.
Listen, I love it when you see a plane taking off into the horizon, and it looks like the plane is getting further and further away and getting smaller and smaller. But is the plane actually getting smaller? No, it just looks that way from where you're standing. Trust me, kiddo. Everything is perfect in this world. Your perspective is a little wonky right now. So just stay with it. The plane's not getting smaller. It just looks that way from where you're standing.
Yeah, agreed 100%.
So we're going to take a break real quick, and you guys stay with us. Ooh, child, it's time for Adam and Eve.
Talk to me, girl.
Well, honey, a lot of times people feel a little ashamed to go get sort of the fun things for the bedroom, at an actual brick and mortar store.
Yeah, which is sad, but it's a reality.
It's a reality.
Yeah.
So Adam and Eve has taken care of that. You can go to adamandeve.com for all those goodies for the bedroom without having to see all your neighbors down at the super sex store.
Get all in your business.
You know what I'm saying?
But I have to tell you, so many of my girlfriends have never experimented with toys.
You're kidding me.
I swear to you that I have encouraged them to go to adamandeve.com. They can do it in their own privacy of their own home without everybody, Mrs. Kravitz, all up in your business, right? And that's the best way to do it. And if you go to adamandeve.com for a limited time only, you get 50% off just about any item.
Yes.
But, Rue, that's not it, because when they select their one item at 50% off, they'll also receive 3 free adult DVDs. So all my girlfriends that have never tried any plug-in toys, they're going to get the show of their life. Because they're not only going to get their battery-operated friend, but they're also going to get some entertainment, and they get a little inspiration, plus a free extra gift so sensual that we can't even tell them what it is on here.
Ooh.
And to top it all off, we'll even throw in free shipping on the entire order.
Now, that's just if you punch in the offer code RU, right?
Yes.
Now, you get 50% off one item when you type in RU with the offer code RU.
That's one. RU at adamandeve.com.
We are back.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and I'm so excited because we do have a special guest coming up who I just adore. You know, there are those people who are just a ray of light, who are so smart. And, you know, when you look at them, you know that they have spent a lot of time alone, have spent a lot of time doing research and understanding how the world works. And they've made an agreement with themselves to get out there and make the best of every situation.
Yeah.
You know, our guest who's coming up, who's Carson Kressley, is one of those people.
Yeah. And he basically rolls with whatever he's given. And in life, you could look at him and say, you know what? This is who I am. I mean, because he's ultra flamboyant.
Yes.
And he's embraced it. And I'm sure he got a lot of shit for it growing up in Pennsylvania.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And he is not only one of the sweetest people you'll ever meet, he's one of the funniest people. He has a quip and a freaking comeback for everything.
He absolutely does. And also, that is an indicator of intelligence.
Yes.
Because he's present and he's listening. You can't do those quips if you're not listening.
No,
and he's listening to everything. He's listening to that conversation over there, that one over there, and he's figuring out everything.
Which is not a traditionally male capability.
Right.
Which is not, barely male anyway. So it's Carson. But he's such a good friend and he's such a good person. So I'm glad we're going to have him on finally.
I love him.
And he's up the ante on the panel, and I'm so happy to have him on Drag Race.
I know, my God.
Good choice, Ru.
Fabulous judge. A fabulous judge. I just love those people. I love those people who've clearly made it through the fire and come to the other side, who they turn into what metal do you put through fire that sort of does an alchemy storyline and turns into something else?
Like you put a metal in it melts?
Yeah, I guess so.
Turns into a horseshoe?
Maybe, or a Porsche or something.
Some grills?
But you know the idea I'm talking about when you walk through fire and you come through the other side and you've become
Khaleesi.
What's that?
It's from Game of Thrones. Sorry. She walked to fire and came out unburned. But the thing is, you have to walk through the fire.
You have to walk through the fire. It makes you who you are.
Yeah. That's the difficult part.
Yeah.
Walking through the fire and knowing what to do when you're in the midst of the fire.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes you who you are.
It does make you who you are.
When was your darkest period? Was it that 13-year-old? Because
yes.
I imagine you, Michelle, though, you go like a million miles per minute. You're one of those people too. I know that when we're on set, I could tell you're listening to that conversation. This one over, you're having a conversation. And in fact, your dressing room is like Grand Central Station.
It is.
You know, I need a little bit more
privacy.
Not just privacy, but
serenity.
Yeah. How do you operate in that?
I can't operate in serenity.
Why not?
I have that right before I go to bed. For me, what keeps me going is the energy of others and the energy of show tunes, and I need something going at all times.
Yeah.
For years, I fell asleep with the TV on, couldn't sleep without the TV on, and unfortunately, I've done that to my children. They're the same way.
Oh, dear.
It's not good. It's not healthy. But I've learned to have serenity in my life a lot more now than I ever have. But I do it in my quiet time. I don't want my quiet time before I'm going to perform. Although, when I'm doing a play, I need 5 minutes before I go on in my head alone.
Just 5?
All I need is 5 minutes, 5 to 10 at the most. I have to go through every lyric in my head before I sing it. Even when I do shows, my cabaret shows, or I'm singing at a nightclub, I have to have a few minutes before so I can go through lyrics in my head. I forget lyrics really easily, so I need to I need to do them. I speed do them in my head because I feel like if I speed do them, I know them. I want to unconsciously know a lyric.
You're right.
If you have to think about it, that's when you're going to fuck up.
I'm terrible with remembering lyrics.
I'm the same way. I will be at shows where I'm singing a song and I go, oh my God, I forgot the words while I'm singing that. And they'll just start singing with it. I go, sing it with me. And they'll do it with me. And that helps a lot.
Yeah. Well, you know, I've seen performers on stage have teleprompters in Vegas. I think in Vegas, Cher had a teleprompter.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that.
After singing 5,000 songs for 500 years, Joan Rivers, bless her, the last time I saw her, had giant, when I tell you giant cue cards around her feet.
Yeah.
At her show at the Laurie Beachman. They were placed all over the stage. They were cue cards, so she remembered her jokes.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It's the delivery.
Right.
It's not that she needs help. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
You need help in life sometimes. So for me, I like having the energy of people and the energy of things. That's what I thrive on.
Well, see, that's why I have to get up really early in the morning so I can have that quiet time, so I can get through not only my stretching and my meditation and my prayer. I have to, I need some time at the computer to go through emails and stuff, just a quiet time, just me.
You're a Scorpio. You need that.
Well, but when George is around, though, I end up focusing all of my energy on him.
Yeah.
And when he's at the ranch, he doesn't sleep as much because everything's on his shoulder. But when he's with me, he will sleep like 9, 10 hours because he feels safe with me,
Yeah, of course.
And so, because, we're only together, once a month, once every 2 months, I give all that up and I say, you know what, I'm going to.
And as well you should.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I mean, that's exactly what you guys are doing together. You're having us time instead of me time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the name of his ranch? Hidden Valley? Sorry. Sorry, I had to do that. But I have to tell you, different people have their different ways of doing things, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, listen, when we're doing that show in the dressing room, Natasha's in one room, and she's on the computer.
But she's super quiet.
She's very quiet.
Yeah.
And then Matthew and I are in the other room getting ready, and we're listening to jazz. We're listening to jazz vocalists and stuff.
You don't hear my wall through the wall.
I can
what's
hear
going
it.
on?
I can hear it.
I'm sorry.
No, wait a minute. Are you?
I'm right next to you.
No. Our podcast room is next to you.
Oh, you're right.
Right. So we have a little space, but in the mornings, I can hear you through that other door in front there. And then we've got some movie playing like Xanadu or something like that with the sound off.
Burning Babies.
Yeah. And we're listening to music. We're talking a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's pretty serene.
Yeah, which is lovely. I mean, it's a place you got to be. But I like my serenity before I go to bed and when I first wake up in the morning.
And then you have that horrible overhead lighting in there.
Every makeup artist is different. Some don't like it on, some do. My makeup artist, Nicole, likes it on.
I hate it. First of all, I don't like overhead lighting. I like mood lighting. In fact,
I agree.
In my dressing room now at this other show,
Skin Wars?
Skin Wars, I have all lamps. I have all lamps in there.
Do you have lava lamps?
I do not have lava lamps.
Well, then you're missing out.
Yeah. But I've made it very cozy because I'm in there.
You're in there all the time. For me, it doesn't matter to me, even though I was there quite some time. I don't mind overhead lighting. I want the artists that are working on me to be the most comfortable so they can make me look 20 years – notice how I said 20 years?
Yeah,
20 years younger.
Those fluorescent lights, it's like my skin burns.
Yeah, but it works for her, you know, because she beats the hell out of my face.
She certainly does.
And then, some makeup artists come in, they're like, no, girl, turn these. Like when Preston does it, he turns the light off.
And you found her on
I found her on Instagram.
How was
I find
that?
all the great artists on Instagram.
Wait a minute. Walk me through this. You are looking for a makeup artist.
Looking for a makeup artist. I posted something a couple years ago saying, looking for a makeup artist, no natural beauty look required.
Thank you very much.
Do not give me any natural look. Also, I don't want to see what you've done on your face.
Yeah.
I want to see what you've done in everybody else's
Thank
face.
you.
There's amazing male makeup artists, and they always paint themselves on Instagram. I don't want to see what you've done to your face, child, because I'm a woman. You do beautiful makeup on yourself. You're a man. I want to see what you can do on your clients. And it's a totally different game when they do.
That's a smart angle.
So I said, post below if you want to link me to somebody. So I look at all of them. And I found probably about 3 or 4. And I've tried about, or maybe even 5. I've tried about 2 out of those 5. And they've both been unbelievable. And I've just stuck with Nicole because not only is she incredibly talented, Lipstick Nick is her name on Instagram, but she's also an incredible person. Great energy. I also use Preston, who is Jenna Jackson's makeup artist. He's amazing.
Have I met
as well.
him?
You met him once, Preston. Yeah. He did me for the What Happened to Merle episode.
Right.
He did me for the green screen thing that I did on that. He's so good. Yeah.
And so you meet these people on Instagram.
I'll contact them after I've been given their name and approve them on Instagram. And I'll contact them and say, I love your work. This is who I am. Usually they're gays, so they know. And I'll say, are you interested? And I said, this this is what it is. And they're like, I mean, they would all break a leg to get onto the set of Drag Race. So, and that's kind of how it works.
And when Nicole doesn't do you, why is she not doing you? Because she has a job at the supermarket?
She also teaches.
What? What does she teach?
She teaches makeup classes at Ruby. It's a makeup school. And so for season 8, she only wasn't able to do my makeup 2 times, I believe.
Right.
And she has like classes, like people that come in from all over the world to learn from her. So she can't get somebody else to teach for her. And that's how that works. But usually she gets all the dates in advance and that's all locked in.
Wow.
Yeah. Because it's not easy trusting your face, especially if somebody's never beat it and you're sitting there and going, okay, do it.
Oh my God. You know, I've had a few of those horror stories. I remember this woman in New York. I was doing something for, was it Details or Paper Magazine? One of those kind of things. And it was just horrendous.
I've been there.
It was awful. In fact, I went in and I I wiped most of it off and then reapplied stuff.
I did that when I did Showtime at the Apollo. I was sick. I've told you the story a million times. I'll say it again. I had 102 fever. And Seduction was at the Apollo. And they were all sisters. Look, not a lot of white people come through that they're asking for makeup. Let's be honest. It's Harlem, and I'm not being racist. I'm being honest. The makeup artists aren't used to working on Caucasian skin. And the girl I got painted me the color of your shirt.
Oh, my goodness.
Kabuki white.
Yeah.
Like a mime. I look like Marcel Marceau. And I was ill with walking pneumonia.
Oh, my God.
And I remember David Cole looked at me and he's like, girl, don't cry. I started tearing up because I was sick and I was just so exhausted. I knew I had to perform at the fucking Apollo where they are brutal. And I had to rap in front of these people. I knew I was going to get my ass handed to me. So David Cole came in. He said, girl, don't cry. Wipe that shit off your face and get to it. And I had to wipe it all off.
Yeah.
And do my own makeup. That's why if you look at it's very pedestrian. If you go and watch it on YouTube.
I believe I've seen it.
And that's why. We came out with Heartbeat first, which was smart because we slayed it. And then we came back with It Takes Two.
Yeah.
So not only were they open to my rap, but the gold dress girl was up front having a blast. Good old time dancing. Once she gets up, you know the party is started.
Yeah.
So it was all a hit. But that has happened to me before. It was really bad. It wasn't, I'm sure she was a great makeup artist. She just wasn't used to matching Caucasian skin. Or maybe she didn't have the right palette.
Yeah.
But it was bad. Really bad. And that was the one time that I was like, oh, my God, what am I going to do? And David's like, wipe it off, get your black eyeliner and your red lip and go. And that's what I did.
Did Willis and Cole go to all of your sort of personal appearances in the New York area?
They tried to, especially Showtime at the Apollo. They weren't going to miss that. That was a really big get for us.
What other acts did they have at that same time?
Probably CeCe Peniston.
No, they didn't do her.
At the Apollo?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Willis and Cole, yeah.
No, nothing. They were coming out with Brat Pack. Do you remember Brat Pack?
Nope.
Yeah. They were coming out with them. Then Trilogy came out not too long after at the same time. And then towards the end of our run came CNC Music Factory. I remember hearing in the limo coming back from Japan.
But didn't they have, one Puerto Rican, a Dominican?
That was before us. 2 Puerto Ricans, a black man, and Dominican. That was before us.
Then that was just them, wasn't it?
That was just them.
Yeah.
That's what their crew was. But I remember in the limo, coming back from a gig or coming back from Japan, whatever it was, one of our tour managers, our security, Willie Bass, and they had just done Lisa Lisa, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, Let the Beat Hit 'Em.
That one. Played us this song called Gonna Make You Sweat. And I remember sitting in the car going, is anybody else pissed off about this song? And they're like, what? I said, Seduction's got a new album. Why the fuck is this not our song?
Right.
Why is this a new group this needs to be our song? I was so pissed off because the minute you heard it, you were like, oh my God.
You heard a demo. Did you hear Martha Wash on it?
Yes, Martha Wash.
You heard the version that we all know.
Correct.
Oh, my goodness.
But Martha, anything she sings on, demo or not, is a final version.
Right.
Because she's an ace in the hole.
Yeah.
And,
Because they had been doing production on other people.
Mariah, Whitney.
And, no, but that was later. That came later. The production,
that's right, with Soul System. You're right. You're right.
Because during the Seduction days, they had done production on
CoverGirls.
What's her name? The one
Lydia Lee Love.
If you give it up, gonna give it.
Lopez.
And wait a minute. Grace Jones.
Right. Natalie Cole. Aretha Franklin.
But Aretha came later.
No, I'm not sure about that. I think Aretha might have been.
No, Aretha was 94, because that was her greatest hits album.
Okay, so then that was after Soul System. But Natalie Cole, Pink Cadillac was...
Yep. But who's the girl? She said, we went through this before.
Lopez. Not Denise Lopez.
No, where she goes, where you belong.
Uh-huh. We went through this
before, and I can't remember her name. But
I'm not going to do this again.
No, I do. I have it right here. How much time do we have before our guest comes? We have. I'm wrapping it up.
Remember? Hold on. Oh, I see her. Was that the real nasty one?
Why are you calling nasty?
No, nasty in like a dirty way.
Oh.
She would come dressed like half naked to gigs.
Yes.
She was with a juicy butt.
Yep. Okay. I got my computer here.
It's not Lopez. It's,
no. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm looking for Clavillis and Cole, and it's C. I'm looking for C.
We do this every single time. And we can't remember her name. Maybe that's why that's the only record, because nobody can remember her name.
No, she had another big record too. Okay, I'm looking under the C's. I'm terrible with the alphabet.
Right away in my head, I go to Denise Lopez, but it's not.
No, what did Denise Lopez sing?
Move out, get your act together. There's nothing wrong with me. Wasn't that Denise Lopez?
I don't know that song. See, you know, Liz Torres.
Come on, I was close.
Liz Torres.
Yeah, she was dirty. I loved Liz Torres.
She sang, If You Keep It Up.
If you keep it up.
Which is actually Martha Wash singing the hook on that.
Martha Wash did Seduction's You're My One and Only.
Yeah.
So she did everything.
Now, for the we're going to just play a little bit of music.
Yeah.
I don't know if we get in trouble for this on our podcast.
Was she the one who did? Let me tell you something about my man.
Yeah, she does that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Martha.
Yeah, sure it is.
Gonna give you up. All right, so we're going to go to break real quick, and when we come back, we have our special guest.
Miss Carson Kressley. Love it.
All right when we come back, Carson Kressley. Hey, it's Christmas time again.
The most wonderful time of the year.
I love it. I think it's fantastic. The only trouble is finding gifts to give to people, unique things that people aren't just going to re-gift and give away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a cappuccino maker.
Exactly. Well, I've got the solution.
What is it?
It's Boll and Branch sheets.
Oh, home run!
Yes, you cannot lose. Everybody's going to love that.
Yeah.
Everybody goes to sleep.
Yep.
Listen, everybody poops.
Yep.
Everybody sleeps.
Yeah, and everybody
Am I right?
pays taxes.
And everybody pays
unless
taxes.
You're Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling you, I'm going to give Boll and Branch sheets to all of my friends, family, and loved ones because I want them to think of me in a beautiful way when they lay down on these lovely, gorgeous sheets.
That's actually really great because they will think of you every time they lay down. And the cool thing is, Boll and Branch is so sure that you're going to fall in love. So if you don't give them for a gift or you want them for yourself, they give you 30 nights to try them out. If you don't love them for any reason, take them back. No hassle at all. And it gets better. So if you order right now, they're going to give you $50 off a sheet set. A set of sheets. Hello, English. Plus free shipping if you go to bollandbranch.com, BOLL and branch.com. Use the promo code RU. Rue said it best. I am telling you, the best gift ever. And you've heard us talk about it because it's become a comedy sketch. But all that stuff, all that myth of Egyptian cotton,
right.
Who knew it was just bullshit?
It's
because I didn't know that.
Well, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
But now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I have felt the deliciousness,
Ugh.
the buttery, smooth gorgeousness of these Boll and Branch sheets.
Unbelievable. They're made with entirely organic cotton.
And that's something right up your alley.
Hey, girl, no pesticides go to my face. And a night sleeping on Boll and Branch sheets makes your day so much better. And part of the way they're able to keep such low prices is by selling exclusively online at bollandbranch.com. You can't just buy it in any store. So go ahead, log on, get your $50 towards a sheet set by going right now to BOLL and branch.com. I'm telling you, best gift ever. If not for somebody else, for yourself.
Get it for yourself.
Yes, do yourself a favor. It's terrific.
Hey, we have our special guest with us right now.
What's his name?
His name is Carson Kressley.
Hi, Rue. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Carson.
You know, you're so much fun to be around.
Well, you know what? It takes three to tango.
It does, but is that a lot of pressure on you? Because I'm sure, listen, I'm not the first person to. We met on the show Skin Wars.
We actually met online, but it was in the Oh, we're
online.
not telling that story.
Oh.
You mean working? We met on
Yes.
the set of Skin
That's the
Wars.
first time you guys
That's
met?
where we met.
Isn't that outrageous? and
It is.
insane?
Although I was in New York once, and Carson was buying a ticket to go into the Chelsea theaters at 23rd Street.
Gaiety?
No, not the Gaiety. This was the movie theaters. And
The
I thought,
Unicorn. No,
Yeah.
it was the actual movie theater.
Yeah, and I remember seeing him, and I thought, oh, I should go over and say something. I thought, no, I'm not going to say
I wish
anything.
you would have.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. I'm weird about that. The truth is, with famous people, I don't introduce myself. Years ago, I stopped introducing myself to
Right.
famous people because you never know what you're going to get.
True, I guess.
yeah.
But I would have fallen over because I would have been gagging and been like, "Oh my God, RuPaul, hello."
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met Carson on WKTU and I interviewed him
Right.
for his children's book.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
That was so nice of you guys to even do that.
It was a great book.
And where didn't I go somewhere to do that? Like, was
Came
it
to
in
our
New
radio
Jersey?
station in Jersey City.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
With
Well,
Johnny.
Goomba Johnny.
Goomba Johnny.
And me.
What's the children's book called?
It's called You're Different, and That's Super. And it is, it's like the classic ugly duckling
Yeah.
tale. I kind of plagiarized that part. But it was, I mean, I drew a little bit from personal experience of growing up and being picked on and being bullied and being like, feeling like there's something wrong with you. And then something happens to you and you're celebrated for your flaw.
Yeah.
And that changes everything. So that was
Oh
kind
my
of the
God!
story.
If I had a little boy like you, I would
Right.
just
You would
love
throw him in a river.
No, I would love you so much
Right?
because you're so lovely.
Thank you. And I was very lucky because I did have, now it's like getting like after school special. But I had parents that were very lovely and did love me. So I was very lucky.
Only child.
No, I felt like it because my brother and sister are so much older.
Right.
My sister's 8 years older. My brother's 6 years older.
So they were already out of
You're
school.
like 10,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're like 16 and 18. You're like, hey, I got these new Matchbox cars, and they're like, scram.
Yeah.
So you do feel like an only child,
Right.
which I learned to love.
Yes.
Yeah.
And where are you from?
I'm from Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Oh, like the Billy
Billy Joel
Joel
song.
The Billy
song.
Joel song, and Amanda Seyfried is from Allentown.
Oh.
And
your
that's
father.
about it.
Yeah. Well,
That's about it.
Because it's a steel town or a coal
Well,
town.
it was.
It was a steel town. Like Allentown and Bethlehem were all steel mills. And people like see like the Billy Joel video in their head
Yeah.
with like the smokestacks. I only see the part where they had the bare male asses. Remember that? And I was
I
like,
don't
this
remember
video
that.
is great. Yeah, the steel workers were showering.
Oh.
And there was full rear nudity,
Yes.
which I had never seen before.
Well, that's racy.
And yeah, it was wonderful. Thanks, MTV.
Right. Now, are you gay?
I'm not, but I play a gay, on TV.
television.
Right. Gay for
Yes.
pay.
Gay
Actually,
for pay. Yeah.
that's a great question.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for asking me, but no.
By the way, still there.
Yeah, even my straight guy has a little bit of a sass in his asses. I can't help it.
No, you got.
It's part of your DNA.
Yeah.
it
love
really
it.
is.
I love it. And, so I met you on Skin Wars and we judged some. I thought, oh my God, this guy is so much fun.
Thank you.
Such a great judge.
you.
I thought, he would make a perfect judge for Drag Race.
And here I am.
And here you
I'm
are.
having a ball. Two balls,
yes,
actually.
several.
Yes.
Honey, there's several balls to be had.
It's so fun, and you guys make it so fun, and the gals are so entertaining.
Yes.
I mean, you come to work, and you know, because you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, you're driving to work, and you're, like, actually excited to go to work. She's like, I'm going to see an amazing show today.
Yep.
Yes.
And there's going to be a stage, and it's like, I get to basically go to a nightclub
Yeah.
for work.
And
hang out with friends and see amazing drag. So
It's a gift.
It is a gift.
It
Now
really is.
we're not going to talk about specific queens because
Okay.
this show that we're doing now will air very soon. But we don't
Okay.
want anybody to know any secrets. But
Right.
now you've been doing you did season 7.
I did.
Season 8. Have you ever done drag?
I have. I started doing drag when I was just a wee laddie. And my mom would be at work, and it would be around the holiday time, and Avon would drop off those miniature
yes.
lipstick
Oh, I
samples.
love those.
miniatures.
Yes.
There was a row of them in a white box And that would be like Christmas morning. I was like, oh my God, the Avon lady came. Then I'd wait for my mom to go to work, and then I'd get home from school around 2:30, and I would crack open the new lipsticks.
Ooh.
And there was buttered rum and cheeky nut and so many great colors. And I would carefully apply them, and then I would take her slips that people
Remember
would wear.
when ladies wore slips?
Yes, I do.
And she had a coral colored one, which I was like, there's a beautiful orangey, creamy colored slip. I would put that on, then I would belt it and make like it was a very Chrissy Snow kind of like off the shoulder dress that I would make.
Disco.
Put on the lipstick. And then my mom was actually a beauty queen in the late 50s. She was Miss Milkmaid because she was a dairy farmer's daughter. And she had her tiara on her dresser in her bedroom, but it was one of those gross, like, early American dressers that had like shelves in the corner around a mirror.
Oh, yes, I know that one.
And I would climb up on there and I would get the crown and I would mangle it to my head. It was all bent and destroyed from me doing that for forever. And I would put on wigs and I would just like be in the mirror and I would...
Where'd you get wigs?
My mom
wigs
had
too?
wigs. It
People
was the
had wigs
70s.
back then, yeah.
My mom had several wigs.
Yeah.
And I would model and I would wear on my dresses and try things out. But it was all made stuff. Like I obviously wasn't my mom's size when I was like 7.
Right.
But I was making outfits out of her underwear.
Right.
So yeah.
And have
that's
you
where
done
it all happened.
Have you done drag as
Just
an adult?
last night.
With his mother's coral slip.
Yeah, whenever I go home for the holidays.
Surprise, Mom!
Hello.
Do they still live in Allentown?
They do, yeah.
Really?
Same house.
In the freezing cold, they still deal with that.
Yeah, they do. No, I would do it like with friends for like Halloween and holidays.
Yeah.
And we would go all out, beat our faces. And we went as the bitches of Eastwick one year.
Love that. Which
and
one were you? Susan Sarandon?
I was a redhead. Yeah, I must have been
Yes.
Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
And that was when Splash was open, and we went to Splash. And my friend, and there's 3 of us, and my friend said, we're going to have to enter the contest. I was like, oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
And you had to go on stage where those showers
Yes,
were.
I remember.
And we went on stage, and as soon as I got up there, I was hiking up my skirt and showing my ass cheeks.
Slut.
And of course we won.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're not the prettiest, you sometimes have to be the sluttiest.
Right.
Well, but that's the thing about drag is that it brings out these
It
personalities.
does.
That, that's why everyone should do drag, because you want to know what
Right.
personalities are lurking in there that you're not sure about.
I'll have to try it
Yeah.
sometime.
Michelle, you should really try doing
try
drag
it.
sometime.
I'll try it sometime.
And that night was so fun because we did win.
Yeah.
Like $100 in drinks, and back in the 90s, that could
all
get
you
you
needed.
somewhere.
Sure, that get a good buzz going.
And then I think Halloween at Splash brought all kinds of people to the bar, and I remember making it. I had black lipstick on, and I made out with this hot Middle Eastern guy in the basement of Splash. And my friends were like, "Come on, let's go!" And when I left, the guy's face was covered in black, like was a chimney sweep.
Yeah,
And I was like, "Gotta go."
See you later, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, exactly.
And then before Queer Eye came on, which was your big breakthrough success, you won an Emmy for that.
I know. I still can't believe that. People will come over to my house like, "What's that?" I'm like, "That's a primetime Emmy."
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Did the
pretty
show
unbelievable.
win, or did you guys win as host?
The show for Best Reality Show, and they were nice enough to each give us our own Emmy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I don't even think they do that anymore.
Isn't one of your guys on the Chew now? Is that one
No,
of your...
he's on Chopped.
He's on
Chopped,
Chopped.
okay.
on
Yes.
the Food Network.
Yes.
He's very
Ted.
good.
He's very good.
Very
Yeah,
good.
very good.
Now, did you know any of the Queer Eye guys before you were cast?
I knew Tom Felicia, the interior design guy. And we went to the same gym together. I was going to say we worked out at the same gym, but I didn't really ever work out.
Right,
I
of
just,
course.
The steam room.
Yeah, low
I
self-esteem
just
room.
went to meet people. Yeah.
Yeah, we call it the low self-esteem room.
I love it.
Yes.
I've been
And
there
by
many
meet,
times.
you mean MEAT.
Yes, thank you, Michelle, for that graphic
You're welcome.
description.
Just had to spell it
So
out.
subtle.
So Queer Eye happened. What were you doing before Queer Eye? Because you were the fashion guru.
I was the fashion guru. I was really lucky. I had a fantastic job at Ralph Lauren.
Oh, I love Ralph Lauren.
And I had moved to the city in 1991, like the day after graduation, and moved in with 2 girls that I went to college with.
What part of town?
We lived in Carnegie Hill in 96 and 3rd.
96 and 3rd. Is that the
The Normandy
cloisters?
Court. No, that's on the other side.
No, that's like
West
Spanish
side.
Harlem up there.
Oh, a Spanish Harlem adjacent. Like the front
Yeah.
of my building, everything was peaches and cream. The back of the building, cars were on fire.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the early 1991.
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to work in fashion, and I had 2 iconic people I wanted to either work for Calvin Klein or Ralph Lauren. And I loved great American design.
Yeah.
And just by chance, this woman at my gym, again, I was there one day and I had like black watch plaid track pants on.
Wait a minute. Black watch plaid.
Like that blue and green, navy blue and green plaid.
Like tartan?
Yeah, like a tartan.
Huh.
And they were made out of like nylon, like wind pants or track pants. And then I had this Ralph Lauren sweatshirt on that had the teddy bear holding a plaid basketball. And then I was actually holding the plaid basketball that I got at Bloomingdale's from buying like $90 worth of fragrance, which I returned the fragrance but kept the basketball.
Yes, yes.
And the woman came in, she said, I don't know who you are, but you need to work for Ralph Lauren. I was like, that's my dream. And she said, I'm a headhunter. And that was my Lana Turner Schwab's drugstore moment.
Wow.
And I went in and they said, great. And I got a job being Ralph Lauren's brother's assistant, and he ran all of the men's companies. So I got to learn everything about like who made the shoes and who made the accessories and who made the dress shirts and the ties, and interface with all of men's design, and did that for like 2 years. And then I said, Jerry, could I please get a real like design job and be hands-on? And they were like, yeah, whatever you want. And I just worked my way up. And I was working in the golf division, which I had no idea about. I knew they wore
Like
cute
golf
outfits.
clothing? Yeah.
Golf clothing. And the first day when I went to work and Ralph was in the elevator with me, which is really scary.
It's like a meeting with the
meeting Jesus.
Yes.
And he just looked at me and he goes, and he saw me in other design meetings. He just looked at me and goes, golf. And I looked at him and I said, billionaire. And I was like, this could either go really good or really bad. Yeah. And there was that petrifying 9 seconds.
Did you know what kind of sense of humor he had?
No.
Yeah.
And then a big smile came over his face and he laughed. He goes, oh, you're funny.
Yeah.
And then I just kept climbing my way up the ladder and got a great education there. Was working there when Queer Eye came about.
When you tell that story, what comes to mind is, and I mentioned this when I had a little boy like you, I would just be so in love with this kid.
Right.
How much of your charm has to do with your success? Now, a lot of young people listen to this podcast, and because you're very, very, very charming. No, and it's true, and you know that. But how much of your success is because of your charm? And not to diminish your own talent. Not to diminish your talent.
I'd say 90%. I would say like 95% of it is about charm and personality. No, I have some talent, but talent doesn't open doors. So the reason why I got my job at Ralph Lauren is because I gave a charming interview.
Yeah.
And I said, I was ambivalent about how excited I was to be there because I truly loved the brand and I wanted to be there. And you're so young and you're like a little fresh, little frisky bunny and you just love everything about it. And then when I did like the Queer Eye audition, I had never done any TV. I didn't aspire to do any TV. And I was just myself. But I'll tell you, it was the era of Legally Blonde. And Reese Witherspoon was in that movie. And that maybe came out right after Queer Eye. But like that character, I was like, I want to be her. Like that is everything to me. Like someone that's just so like spunky and perky.
Yeah.
And I think that's opened a lot of doors. And then your talent backs it up.
Sure.
You have to know how to be a stylist. You have to know how to make the right choices and make people look good. But a lot of it is delivery.
Well, I want to ask you about style. I want to ask you where your own personal style comes from.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break, but I have to tell you, I felt the same way. When we worked together on Skin Wars, and we had so much fun judging this body painting competition, I thought, I want to work with him. Because the truth is there are a lot of people who can do the job.
Right.
But it gets down to who do you want to spend time with? Who do you want to spend 6 weeks with on a set day in, day out?
Right.
And that's a big thing. And I think young people need to know that.
Right.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. And as you get older and working in this business and, you just want to work with people that you have fun with after a while because you are here for like 80 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
And sometimes it's like not that exciting and you're waiting for like a light to be adjusted or whatever.
Sure.
Like being around fun people, also being around like collaborative people.
Yeah.
Like I had a lunch with someone who at Game Show Network, Amy, and she was like, what people really need to learn is that like TV or entertainment is all about collaboration.
Yeah. And
you can't be an island. And maybe when I was younger, I thought that, and now I realize it's all about relationships and working with people and collaborating, and also never burning a bridge, because you might have a bad experience somewhere, like, I'm never working there again, and then the dream job comes up and the person who's like interviewing you is the person that was running the other network that you didn't like, and
Surprise!
you're like, what are you doing here?
Oh my God, I know that very well.
Yeah.
Also, when we come back, the answer to the age-old question, is it Ralph Lauren or is it Ralph Lauren?
I want to know the answer to that.
I can solve this mystery.
Good. So we're going to take a quick break and then we'll solve that mystery right after this. Hey, it's Christmas time again, and everybody's looking for gifts for their loved one, their family, their partners.
Yes.
I've got a great idea.
Tell me.
Go to adamandeve.com for something sexy and sensual for your partner.
Because, guys, I know that your mind directly wants to go to, I don't know, anal beads or, I don't know, maybe a dildo.
Sure.
But adamandeve.com has way more than just those. Yes, I highly recommend those, especially for people that have been in relationships for a while, looking for something to really stuff in your stocking.
Sure.
But they also have, like, women can get little outfits to wear. They have, like, G-strings for men. Look, there's super fun stuff.
Yeah, listen, all the needs to satisfy your erogenous zones. And,
Yes.
you know, the whole body is an erogenous zone.
Even the zones that aren't erogenous.
Yeah, why not?
Like a no-fly zone.
There's the charisma zone,
Yes!
which you've got to discover on your own.
Hello.
Yeah, but Adam and Eve is the place to go to get everything you need for those sensual items for the bedroom. And they've got some deals, don't they,
They
Michelle?
sure do. Go to adamandeve.com for a limited time only. You're going to get 50% off just about any item because, listen to this, when you get your one item at 50% off, you're also going to get 3 free, we said what? Free adult DVDs for a little inspiration, and everybody needs inspiration. Don't think you're the end-all, be-all of sex because, girl, it was there before you.
Yeah.
It's going to be there after you.
Right.
We can all use some new ideas.
You know what I'm saying? You need to develop the hookup.
Okay.
Honey, the hookup. Probably Benjamin Franklin developed the
I'm
hookup.
going to say Adam and Eve developed the hookup. I'm just
right.
saying.
You're right.
Yeah. Although Benjamin Franklin brings a whole new imagery to the. I'm just seeing keys
and electricity.
Yes.
And yes.
Well, we need electricity for some of these toys
Sure,
we're going to get
you
on
certainly
adamandeve.com.
do. Yeah.
And to top it all off, we're even going to throw in free shipping on your entire order. You guys, spice up your holidays. Pull something out of the turkey other than a drumstick. I don't know. You know, it's just something different. Santa can slide down the chimney with some Astroglide. Why not?
Why not? Why not?
All there. But in order to get that 50% off one item, tell them what they got to do, Ru.
Well, you got, if you want to get that, you've got to type in the offer code RU upon checkout. It's just that easy. You're going to get 3 free DVDs, a free extra gift, and free shipping.
Yes, ma'am.
Just use the offer code RU. That's RU at adamandeve.com.
I'm just going to throw in for all my fellow Jews out there. We're talking a lot of free and a lot of discounts. You should be very happy. Happy Hanukkah.
I remember listening to you guys, both of you, every morning, getting ready for work, listening to KTU. And when I moved to New York City, and we're of the same era, which is why I love hanging out with you guys.
Because we get all the jokes.
You get all the jokes, but you're like my people because I get like, we grew up in the same time and I can't tell anybody else because they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
But KTU was a country music station.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I remember.
Like the
because
1035, it
year.
was called the Big Apple.
Yeah, no, remember when we first started working there, I inherited all of that country music because I'm a big country
Right.
music
Yes.
fan.
Ru got it all.
So I got so much. I still have it.
This was the days when radio used to run off of these things called compact discs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And was it in Lake Success, New York, or you were
No,
working
that's
out of a
just where the
studio
transmitter
in
is.
the
That's
city?
where the transmitter
Yes.
was. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, we were always in Jersey City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because when it was a country station, I was so into country music, and I still am. I went to see Clint Black, and he was making an appearance at a Sam Goody.
Ooh.
And it was in a basement of a Sam Goody, like on 42nd Street, and there was like me and like 4 other people
Oh,
because
my goodness.
New York wasn't like a country
No.
kind of market.
Yeah.
But I tell you, Jim Kerr fans were very upset.
Oh, Jim Kerr, yes.
We got the hate mail.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
who's
sure.
the DJ
Yeah.
there. Now, Carson Kressley, before the break, we talked about Ralph Lauren, the age-old question.
The age-old question, which
Right.
is it? Is it Ralph Lauren or is it Ralph Lauren? Once and for all.
It's Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren.
That's right from the Ralph's mouth.
Yeah.
They all say it Lauren. Yeah.
Lauren.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do love American style. I love Oscar de la Renta. I love
Right.
Bill Blass, and I loved Anne Klein and Calvin Klein,
Right.
All the
Perry
Kleins.
Ellis, all of the Kleins.
Right. All the Kleins.
Where did you get your style, your sense of style from?
I think I got it from my mom. And like I said earlier, I'm from Allentown, Pennsylvania. Not a fan, like we're practically Amish. We're Amish adjacent. I'm Lutheran. My dad's a car dealer. My mom worked for him. Very like simple, average people. And but the 70s were such an amazing time. And I distinctly remember your mom and dad would go out to like a party.
Yeah.
Like very like ice storm. Like,
Yeah.
like it would be at somebody's house.
Put the keys in the bowl.
And they would, my mom would wear like a cocktail gown.
Wow.
It was when you wore like a floor length, it'd be like gathered at the top and then it'd be a full skirt.
Yeah.
Very like Tory Burch now.
Long skirts.
It was that era. Where everything looked like it was a Bob Mackie. It had Lurex in it.
Yeah.
Where it had like a big, plaid metallic bolero that went over it.
You're making me
There was
horny.
just, it was just a time when people still dressed for an occasion.
Love that.
And-
And would always bring a dish.
Right. And it was just like there was you would have like maybe like a boiled wool little tiny like orange pea coat with gold buttons. It was
Ooh,
like
I
very
love
Tyler
that.
Moore dressed that
Yes.
way. My mom dressed that way. Plaid, slacks and a plaid little blazer with a ruffled shirt that went underneath.
Oh,
there was,
that's nice.
There was so much variety.
Yeah.
And my mom always, it wasn't about having like the fanciest or most expensive clothing, but it was about being appropriate for where you're going. So like you wore a certain thing to church and you wore a certain thing to school and you wore a certain thing to a party. So you still really dressed for the occasion. So I just liked how clothing could transform you.
Right.
And make you whatever you wanted to be for that day.
Well, and you do dress that way to this day. Now, when you see...
Like Mary Tyler Moore.
Like Mary Tyler Moore. Now, when you see other people throughout the day who are looking really good, do you say something to them?
Yeah, I usually do.
What do you say?
I say, "Oh my God, you look amazing." Because that's like a celebratory, like high five.
And
Right.
they're dressing for people.
Right.
I mean, they're dressing
That's
for
the
themselves.
reason-
But they're dressing to be seen.
Yeah.
Right.
When I dress up, I want to hear that.
I want to hear it, but I find that the only people who compliment what I'm wearing or will compliment the bag I have are the people who work in stores because they're the only ones who care.
Well, they're kind of the only ones that dress up anymore.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I'll just go to like Neiman Marcus here just so I can see people in cute outfits.
I love
Yes,
that.
yes. Now, when you travel around a lot,
I do.
and you live in New York, you spend a lot of time out here in Hollywood.
I do.
I told you that one of my favorite places to go shop is at a consignment shop on 7th Street, real close to First Avenue, called Tokyo 7.
Yes.
It's a consignment shop.
In the city, in New York.
It's in New York
Yes.
City, yes. It's Tokyo 7 at 7th Street and First Avenue.
Right.
Now, what are some of your go-to places in New York?
In New York, I love a bargain.
Yes.
So I love going to Century 21.
Is it still good?
It's still good. Century 21 has expanded, and they have stores in New Jersey, and they have a store on the Upper West Side.
Where on the Upper West Side?
Upper West Side is right near Lincoln Center.
Oh.
And all of those are, there's one in Paramus, New Jersey, and they have, I think, one in Philadelphia. Those are watered down.
At the Garden State
Yeah.
Plaza?
There's like a,
On Route 4.
it's on Route 4, yeah.
Yeah.
And those are not as good as the main one. Like that original Century 21, they'll still buy bulk pieces from runway shows in Milan. You'll find the last thing I got there was like a beautiful like dinner jacket that is, I wore it on the show on Drag Race season 8
One of
is
those
coming
seasons,
up.
yeah.
And it was Lawn Van. And I found that there. I could never afford Lawn Van.
Right.
It's like you could basically buy like a Kia Sophia
Right.
for
Yeah.
a jacket.
Yeah.
Right.
And
but where is the original Century
the original is on.
Well, the original was wiped out.
No, it's there. It was right across from the World Trade Center. The
But didn't
building
it get,
is still
they
there.
rebuilt it, right?
No, the building was not actually hurt.
okay.
It was closed for a long time while they were, obviously
I
dealing
see,
with
I see,
everything.
I see.
But it's right down there. It's on Day Street and
it's down in the
literally
financial-
across from Ground Zero.
And the one in Brooklyn on 86th Street was always really good too. Smaller, obviously.
Right,
yeah.
But it was also pretty
Yeah.
good because a lot of the girls wouldn't have the taste for what you want to go
Right,
and get.
right.
So it was
Yeah.
always good finds in the one in Brooklyn.
Yeah, yeah. So you love Century 21.
I love Century 21. I'm a very
And
like
it's a department store.
Yeah, it's a department store, and they have everything. But I'm like a high-low shopper. Like I have no problem getting like a cute, fun, funky T-shirt from Zara
H&M,
or
yes.
H&M. And then pairing it with something like, basics, like you need great jeans. Like
Yes.
You can't buy cheap jeans. So, but I'll find them. I just got these. These are Bell Staff, and I got them at the Barney's outlet.
I love those.
So
the Barney's outlet out here
out
at
in
Cabazon.
Camarillo.
Oh, not Camarillo.
I went to Camarillo.
You went to Camarillo. That's Michelle's now.
thank
I
you.
hit all the outlet malls when I'm here.
Because you got the boots at Cabazon.
I got the boots at Cabazon.
out
yes.
in Palm Springs.
Which, if you're an outlet mall fan, the two best outlet malls in the world are in Woodbury Commons, New York, which is in Harriman,
I
exit
missed
16.
it so
Yes,
on the New York
love it.
State Thruway.
I love it. Yes, and it's expanded too, hasn't it?
Huge.
Yeah.
And then the one out here on the way to Palm Springs in Cabazon.
It's right next to
And,
the Morongo Casino.
Yeah, so you can do some gambling, and then you can buy some Louboutins.
Yes.
And Woodbury's is open. They open at midnight, Black Friday, and they go all the way
do
through.
they?
Yeah. So I've done it, so you can go through. I hit Woodbury's where there's a store called Ultima,
Right.
ULTIMA one time. They called me and said, we're having a big shoe sale. It was like, I don't know, it's one of those holidays that Labor Day or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That you
The
wouldn't
big
go.
Flag Day sale.
Yes.
One of them, Arbor Day. They called me and they said, we're having $25 on all shoes. I went, when I tell you I got 10 pairs of Manolo, Jimmy Choo,
Oh.
the highest of high end for $25
What?
A pair.
Gucci.
Wow.
I got like 10 pairs and I bought stuff that didn't even fit me. I'm going to throw them on eBay.
Yeah.
But the point is, there's stuff like that. It's available. You
It
could
is.
get it at these
Yes.
outlet malls.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
always.
You have to dig. I just
Yeah.
got my niece a pair of Lon Van shoes at the Neiman's outlet in Pennsylvania, near where she lives, and they were like $1,200 shoes, and they were, I think, $95.
See?
But you
will
have
she
to
wear
dig.
them? Will she wear them?
She's going to wear them.
Yeah. That's the thing about buying clothes for other people, getting a
Right.
bargain. And I've fallen into
True.
that trap before,
True.
where I think, oh my God, this would be so great for so and so,
Yes.
and they have no interest in that.
Right.
You know, and so, but you shop for yourself. How often do you go out shopping?
I'm a grazer,
Yeah.
and
It's for
shopping.
research.
Shopping
It's
is my
research.
business. Yeah. If I'm styling people, whether it's celebrities or whatever, I try to see what's in the stores. I'm a retail enthusiast.
Yes.
So I'm in the stores all the time. If I have like 5 or 10 minutes before or after a meeting, I'll pop in and see what's happening
Yeah.
and who's doing what. And it's just educational. I very rarely buy stuff,
Right.
but I shop a lot.
Yes, no, I do the same
Yeah.
thing. The only problem is that if you spend a day or an afternoon shopping, you go into a shop and and don't get me wrong, store clerks and people who work there,
Right.
everybody says to you, "Hi, how are you doing?"
Right.
And if you go into enough stores, they must understand that I'm going to a lot of stores. You don't have
Right.
to ask me that, and
Right.
I know that if I need something, I'll go over and I will ask you.
Yeah, but I worked for what's the word, commission before.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're hungry when there's 3 people on the floor. You're hungry.
Sure.
You want
Right.
that commission, so you're going to be the nicest.
But
it's annoying.
It
Yeah, I get
turns
it.
me off
Yeah.
though, because I'm
Right.
clearly a shopper. I'm wearing the clothes that I
Yeah.
probably
Right,
bought there.
right.
I'll buy 5 suits if you leave me alone.
Yeah, just leave me alone. I
Yeah.
need to. I'm doing research at
Yes.
retail. I want to know culturally what's happening
Right.
at retail. I want to know what designers do. I want to touch the fabric.
I'm with you.
I just want to, but I don't like to be
Yeah.
bothered.
Well, my new favorite thing is the kiosks in the mall. They have a line and they all do it. And they also do it outside of that Oro Gold facial.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yes.
This new
Yeah.
thing where they come up and they go, hi, how are you?
Hi,
I go, good,
can I
how are you?
ask you a
Can I ask you a
question?
question? And I literally
Run for
go,
the hills.
no, I go, no. And
Yeah,
I keep
yeah.
walking. And
Right.
my daughters are like,
I've noticed those
Say no.
mall kiosk stores, and those are the little like huts that are in the main
Yeah.
aisles at the malls. And they're always like for a hand product that will like sand your hands down
Right.
and make them wildly smooth. And I tried it one time and it works for
Yeah.
like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But they're staffed by the hottest guys
They're
in
not
the
stupid.
They're not
world.
stupid.
Yeah.
They know.
And the first 10 or 15 times I,
Yeah.
said, of course you can ask me a question. But now even me,
Yeah.
Mr. Flirtation Station, is just like, I am busy.
I just say no, you can't. Yeah.
Well, my trick to go shopping is to put my Apple
that's good, your
earbuds.
earbuds.
So they can see them 'cause
they
they're
can
white.
see them,
Yeah.
and I'm not being rude. I just don't like my focus. It's a meditation for
Right.
me.
No, I get it.
And I don't want to be.
I smear blood on my face, and
Well,
that
that-
also
Oh, that
works.
works.
That
Yeah, that
works. That's a good idea. Yeah, Carson, I could talk to you forever and ever.
I could talk to you guys forever.
You're fun.
You were so much fun. I'm so happy that you've been on our podcast.
too.
Finally,
Oh, I know, right?
Finally,
so
Here I
happy to
am.
have you on the show. It's really a fun addition.
It is. People ask, how is it all the time? I say, it's the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah, well,
It really is.
You make it so much fun,
Well,
and having said that, we have to actually go back out there.
Right.
Yes, we do.
And adjudicate.
We have
And
to go
adjudicate.
keep the lights on, girl.
That's right. So thank you so much, Carson
Thank you.
Kressley, and we'll be talking to you very soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe
Can
on
I get an
iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.